So, this is Good Burger. 1997 came out, and Good Burger started as a skit on All That, which was kind of like the SNL of Nickelodeon. A bunch of kids, teenagers, are together and they just do skits and silly antics ensue. Um, Dan Schneider was on it, and uh, Dan Schneider is we can get in that into that another time. But people, as soon as you say the name Dan Schneider, people are like, yeah, yeah. So, Good Burger was on All That, which was All That is amazing. I think they have it on Netflix. Um, but so many amazing, memorable characters. Detective Dan, Super Dude, uh, Keenan and Kel with Good Burger. You had Ed, and then Keenan's character who would come in called, his name was Lester Oaks, construction worker, um, Pizza Face, Big Ear Boy, Pierre Escargot. It's just amazing characters that people still now remember. But Good Burger was one of those little skits, and they decided to make it into a full length film. Was it good? Not really. Is it still fun to watch? Yeah, I mean, because it just screams 90s. Um, so John, you may ask, also the cast. I love how they got Ava Goda to do this. Um, and Sinbad. You got good old Josh. Josh was in All That. Yeah, she was. Yeah, freaking George Clinton was in it when they get taken to the psych ward. The George Clinton is there. Shaquille O'Neal was in there. But yeah, the whole point of Good Burger is Kurt Setsa is making this place called Mondo Burger like right across the street, and Good Burger's worried they're gonna be shut down and people are gonna go over there, and Kurt's trying to shut down Good Burger, so craziness ensues. They find out that Kurt is like enhancing his burgers to make them bigger with illegal products and stuff like that. At the end of the day is saved thanks to uh, you know the efforts of two people. Uh, though the end of the movie has like it's such a stupid line, but it's funny because it comes out of nowhere. So at the end of the movie, obviously the day is saved, but during the movie, Keenan's character Dexter makes a contract and has Ed sign it saying that basically the sauce that Ed was making, um, he gets a certain percentage of whatever Ed makes. So the restaurant makes a certain amount for Ed sauce. Then the manager gives Ed a certain amount based on like all the burgers sold that day, and then Dexter takes a certain percentage from what Ed makes. But at the end of the movie, he rips up the contract and everything, and then Ed says like it's like you don't want to be partners anymore. Is it because I'm black? And it comes out of nowhere. And it's almost like Keenan has to kind of like laugh at the second because it comes out of nowhere. And even though he knows it's gonna happen, it's still funny. And he's like, "No, it's not because you're black. It's like I'm, you know." But it's such a stupid line, but it comes out of nowhere. It catches you off guard, and it's funny. Um, they're dressing up as the women to get in there, and so again, you're probably asking, John, why are you talking about Good Burger? Well, I'll show you exactly why. Good Burger 2. Good Burger 2. Now, there's apparently it's going to start filming sometime this month in Rhode Island. Only 4 people. If Josh comes back, that'd be amazing. I don't think they're going to have Dan Schneider back. Uh, but given the fact that he wrote it, like he created Good Burger, they're still not going to have him back. The guy is again Dan Schneider. Need I say more? But this is obviously one of those things that are preying on the people for nostalgia. Most kids are not going to know about Good Burger unless their parents have showed it to them. So this is kind of preying on the nostalgia of people my age who grew up watching all that. The parents growing up, who were raising their kids at that time who were watching all that. Um, I don't want it to be like a modernized version. Like if I want it to be a cheesy, I want a Good Burger with extra cheese. That's what I just want it to be cheesy as possible. I want it to get when I watch it, I want to be like I'm back in the 90s watching a sequel to this movie. I don't want it to be modernized. If they could use the same freaking camera they used back then, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. But I don't want it for a modern audience. I want it to be Good Burger. Cheesy and, like stupid, but a fun stupid. And I just, like have the most simple plot ever, what you would expect from the 90s. Kurt at the end of the movie gets sent to jail. This time, say the sequel, Kurt comes back seeking revenge against Good Burger. Mr. Bailey, who's the owner of Good Burger, died or something, and now Ed's the manager of Good Burger because he loves Good Burger so much he just doesn't want to leave. And Dexter's still working there, or like Dexter's kid is working there, and now they all have to team up to stop the evil Kurt from taking down Good Burger once more. Simple as that. Stupid, and yet it makes you feel like the 90s. Like you're in the 90s watching a sequel to a good, to Good Burger. If they can get as many people from the original as possible, from all that, so Josh, Lori Beth, that would be amazing. Again, I don't want it to be modernized. When I watch it, I want it to feel like I'm sent back to the 90s and that this was a movie that came out not too long after the first one. That's what I want to feel when I watch this. I don't want to sit here and, watch it and just it's like, "Oh, it's too modern. It's too modern." What would really be great is if the Good Burger hasn't changed, but everything around it has. So Good Burger still looks exactly the same way as it did in the 90s, but like everyone else has become modernized, and then they like refuse to just to move forward because it's like it's worked for so long. Why change it now when it's worked for that long? So you can have that as like a side plot. Kurt coming back seeking revenge against Good Burger for, taking down Mondo Burger, his creation, and exposing him for the fraud that he was. And there's so many things that they could do. I just don't want it modernized. Keep it as Good Burger. Don't add any political bullcrap. Don't add any buzzwords that are constantly being used today, racism and this and that. It's a skit that started on Nickelodeon, on all that. Keep it that way. Keep it stupid. Keep it funny stupid. Keep it cheesy, and don't modernize it because this is clearly being made for the people like me, the people who grew up watching it, who grew up watching all that and Keenan and Kel and all that, all those, those types of shows. But how how old are these guys now? Being the first of its kind and considered the SNL for younger. Yeah, that's pretty much what I said. Um, looking good, looking good like that. Good Burger, Keenan and Kel. Oh yeah, he was in Keenan and Kel, huh? Like one episode or so. What's he been up to since then? I mean, they kind of did a Oh yeah, the Secret World of Alex Mack. Wow, wow. God, I feel old. You guys remember that? The Secret World of Alex Mack? God. She has special powers. So, Alex Mack. Wow. Like that is so crazy. That is so crazy. That like that's theme song. You never forget it ever. Wow. Alex Mack was a really cool show. So basically, she's walking. I was walking home from school. A truck goes by that has like all these chemicals, and she gets doused in them. And then suddenly she finds she has like all these powers, able to like liquefy herself into like a thing of on the ground, and she can like use almost like telekinetic type powers, and it's really yeah. So walking home, almost gets hit, but then it spins out, and yeah, it's chemicals, which I don't know how she got spilled when she clearly hit a fire hydrant. So that kind of should have washed everything off. I don't know. Maybe it's fast acting. Yeah, she's got like telekinetic powers and turn into a puddle, and it was so cool. Boy, that is a blast from the past. But anyway, uh, doesn't seem to do a whole lot. 25. Oh yeah, he was in Game Shakers too. Now Cal has been, I think, keeping pretty low. Let's see, 2022. Coach Cretan. Yep. SpongeBob. Beans McBeans. All that. Game Shakers. Henry Danger. Yeah, you don't really see too much about Kel, like, in the news or anything, or Keenan. Keenan. Keenan Rockmore. Yeah, Snakes on a Plane. Yeah, it's funny. He went from all that, which was like an SNL type thing, to actually going to SNL. Um, so that's crazy. Fraggle Rock, Clifford the Big Red Dog. But yeah, it's just Good Burger 2. I don't want it to be modernized. I want it to feel like when I'm watching it, I want to feel like I'm back in the 90s. Again, if they want to modernize like the way the area looks, that's one thing. That would be hilarious. You see like Good Burger that looks exactly the same as it did in the 90s, but you see everything else around it, not like super modern, but you know, or maybe it's like like the town decided to build up, so now you have like these skyscrapers starting to forming around it, but like Good Burger is exactly the same in the same place and looks the same. The paint is peeling on the outside, and they just refuse to. But then at the end of the movie, you think they're gonna modernize, but no, they choose to stay the same because they realize that sometimes if it's not broken, don't fix it, which is could kind of be a slap in the face for all the modern crap coming out where they try to modernize it. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Don't update for a modern audience. Don't add your personal politics. Just keep it as is and it'll work out. Even if the paint's peeling off and everything else around you is modernizing, it doesn't mean you need to jump into the fray and get on that bandwagon and do the same thing that everyone else is doing. So, at the end of the movie, if they were to, just basically say F you to all the modernization and keep Good Burger as it was, that would be, it'd be like, well, we don't need to modernize in order to be successful. That would be amazing. Big middle finger to everyone else. But yeah, Good Burger 2 clearly for the nostalgia for people growing up with all that and Good Burger, the skit on the show. Um, but yeah, if you guys watched all that, most memorable character, also Kevin. 5 minutes. 5 minutes till the show. 5 minutes. Um, you have Ask Ashley with Amanda. Ask Ashley. That's me. Um, this is so funny because it's like And she's portrayed as like this sweet little girl, and then she reads these letters, and then she just flips her shit and becomes like this little mean bitch. I mean, obviously PG because it's all that, but uh, yeah. So most memorable character. Oh, they had what is it? Katrina did her like Ross Perot character on there, and it's so freaking good. It was so freaking good. And I watched it not too long ago, and it still holds up. It's still really good. Uh, Super Dude and Repairman, man. Coach Cretan and Connie Muldoon. Lori Beth's character that you play from time to time, Connie Muldoon, or the librarian. That was probably one of the best. Is the librarian that Lori Beth plays? So they're in the library. Libraries are meant to be quiet, but she's telling people to be quiet, but she's screaming at them. And she's blowhorns and bullhorns and this and that, and it's just everything but quiet. The people could be quiet, but then like they scoot their chair back a little bit and just and she just screams at them. But yeah, so if you watched all that, most memorable character in your opinion, and what do you hope to see in Good Burger 2? Is it something kind of like what I said, just make it cheesy? You want it to feel like this sequel happened not too long after the first movie in the 90s. What would you like to see? So, most memorable character, from all that, and what do you hope to see from this movie? Let me know below. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.